Our wild card today, Gary Sinise. You might remember him as Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Well, growing up in a family of veterans, including Vietnam veterans, the role was a lot more than just a character to Sinise. Gary has dedicated his life to supporting military veterans and their families. Trish Regan spoke with Sinise about how this all came together.
I had been involved with veterans groups probably
Even prior to that movie?
Yeah, a full 10 years.
So in a way, you had already been doing a lot of the research for the role.
I did. I very much wanted to play that part because of the Vietnam veterans in my own family and the Vietnam veterans I had worked with in the Chicago area.
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest challenge right now for veterans?
Several challenges. One is because the wars are winding down right now. We're off the front pages. We have troops deployed all over the world that are serving.
Yet people are not thinking about this on a daily basis.
Well, we don't think about it.
Right.
We, our freedom is something that we all just benefit from, and we just have. And when you go around the world and you see how people live when they don't really understand what freedom is, places like Afghanistan, Iraq, Korea, places like that, you value your freedom more, and you value those who provide it even more.
What did we learn from Vietnam?
Vietnam, that was a very difficult conflict, obviously. It divided the nation, and the warriors were the kind of the scapegoats. They were swept under the rug, and they were treated very badly. It was a shameful period in our history, and I think that's one of the motivators for me, is to just get out there trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I think one of the hard lessons that we learned from Vietnam is how not to treat our warriors. And so there is an effort today, and there is a focus today on making sure that whether you agree with the mission or not, you're honoring the service member.
Unemployment very high among veterans, and yet a lot of these people have such tremendous skills and have had to work in so many team environments. They almost seem in some ways sort of ready-made for corporate America.
Well, there are some great initiatives out there, some great programs that are trying to hire veterans and put veterans to work. I'm involved through my foundation with a great program that GE initiated called Get Skills to Work. Obviously, you have great skills in the military. You learn all kinds of things: discipline, hard work, teamwork. What GE is trying to do through their Get Skills to Work program is bring the manufacturing sector together, bring the academic sector together, bring the military sector together, bring them all together to retool skills that people learn in the military toward manufacturing jobs, with a goal of putting 100,000 veterans to work in the manufacturing sector by 2015.
Tell me about your thoughts on health care and veterans, and whether the government is doing enough to address some of these concerns. The lack of health care, and you consider just the disability claims that are so significant, nearly 500,000 among the veteran population. How does that start to change?
Yeah, look, it's much better than it was 30 or 40 years ago, but there is a backlog. We've heard about that, all the claims that haven't been filled, the paperwork, the length of time that a veteran has to wait for benefits or just to get an answer on something. That can be difficult. I always like to say, we can never do enough for our veterans, but we can always try to do a little bit more, and we should try to do a little bit more.
Before I let you go, you've collaborated with Tom Hanks on 3 films. Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, The Green Mile. Any other collaborations you think in your future?
I don't know. Tom's pretty busy, and I've certainly been very busy. I had a television series for 9 years. CSI New York is off the air now, but who knows? In the future, I'll get back to the movie business, I hope, and do some other things. Maybe it'll involve Tom. But I'm so busy playing concerts with my band, trying to raise money and awareness for military charities. I have a great concert coming up, something called Lieutenant Dan Weekend, down in Charleston, South Carolina.
7% of our nation's veterans are without a job. Gary Sinise obviously trying to change that.